Jesus Christ, this is fucked up.
Ready.
Sean goes on to confess that he found Jane more intriguing because of how much she pushed him away. He admits he hit her once and says she flipped out, but then tries to downplay the severity of the strike.
Tapped her.
I tapped her.
Well, I don't know if it's a tap. Her mouth's hurt, right? But I think sometimes when things get out of control, sometimes stuff happens like that, right?
I don't know. No, it don't get out of control.
The further we dig into Sean's story, the less this statement that things don't
Later,
normally get out of
Christina.
control holds up.
Enjoy
At this
your
point,
shift.
Major makes an effort to differentiate Sean from the other bad guys she usually speaks with.
When you say that she's torn, when I'm looking at you, I can kind of see in. Now, sometimes I talk to people who you can't see in somebody. They don't have a conscience. When I'm looking at you, you have feelings. You have some feelings,
Yeah.
and I can see them.
The interrogator couches her negative statements within a positive build-up to make them more palatable and lessen the chance of Sean going on the defensive.
Here's what I'm seeing with you. But one of your strong points is you kind of are stand-up. Like, you might make mistakes, but you don't want to hold your mistakes inside. In this situation, the whole thing's a mistake. I mean, forcing yourself on somebody.
Forcing yourself on somebody is a mistake, lady?
This is
This
is called give the suspect a rim job method.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck, dude? That's a mindfuckery right there. Ugh. Some people are just gross, I guess. You're so beautiful, Gavin.
He's a good boy.
He is a good boy.
Yeah.
He's the best boy.
He's the best boy.
He's a good boy. Yeah. I love you, Gavin.
Love you, Dad.
My good boy. I think she's using child psychology. Maybe. What's up, hot Cheetos? How you doing, sexy? I don't know, man.
Someone I don't want to is a mistake, right?
But Sean dodges Major's question with a bizarre rant that essentially sounds like he's trying to imply a common thought process of sexual abusers. She was asking for it.
That wasn't the intention. It's like a simple tap. I get like.
What, that kiss they did that one time? Like, Pete said it wasn't sexual assault, so
Right.
I'll take Pete's word for it.
Right.
I think it's pretty stupid, actually.
Yeah.
Like, they were dared to do that kiss anyway. We were in, actually, I think, the chat during that time.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
But it was like they both consented to it.
Whatever.
You're reaching, but yeah. Yeah. It's reaching.
You know, like, sorry type of thing.
Yeah.
And they kind of like, oh yeah. It's like, geez, it's okay if she just sits on my lap. I sit down, she just sits on my lap. It's okay, but I can't give her like a pat on the shoulder or anything. That's stuff we're talking about. She went like me.
Because she doesn't want the physical piece.
Yeah, on her time.
Major says she's talked with Jane and just wants to make some sense of things.
She kind of told me what you were saying, like, I want to let you go. And I think you guys were putting a bag together for her. But then the fear is, this was actually last night. Not this morning, but like last night you were talking about letting her go. But then wondering what's going to happen then. Are they going to come for me? They're going to, you know.
Like, it's like nobody wants to go to jail.
The interrogator goes back to emphasizing honesty, letting Sean know that it's still worth it to tell the truth and allow the victim to heal.
How can I take that I did? You can let her put value on it. You can let her know that, you know what, I did what I did was wrong and it's not your fault. Because really,
not her.
It's not her fault, and that's where the man up thing is. You're a manly guy. That's the piece of you there's a good piece there. The guy that stands up says I did what I did. It was wrong. She didn't deserve that, and that I want her to be okay. For her to be able to put value on it, to 100% honesty is there.
Needed it though. That's the sad thing.
Needed what?
Oh my God. She needed it though? Ooh. Ooh. Do not leave me in a room with that dude. Oh my God, I'm not getting into this stupid drama with Chantel and Pete. It was not a dare, but they got paid to do that kiss. I don't know. Then I don't know what kiss you're talking about. And you know what?
Yeah, I know nothing about it.
I know nothing about
I
it.
don't care.
I have no opinion. Like, I thought the kiss was that one time they got paid to kiss each other.
I don't know.
I thought that's what they were talking
I
about.
have no idea.
There's another time they kissed? Like, wasn't it like $50 that they paid to get to like kiss each other, and they did? There's another time he kissed her, or she kissed him. I don't care.
To get both of us needed that to get through our lustful desires and
Needed to have.
anyway, I mean,
Okay, and that's honesty. Don't feel like, hey, if you have a thought like that,
that's
it's
what she needed. She's just battling all the time. She's battling like with the lustful desires, and it's a roadblock.
Studies show that the fear experienced by a victim during the actual assault is immediately replaced by guilt.
I guess I wasn't watching her during that time because I don't know that. I don't know that at all. I guess I don't. I never saw that. I don't know it. I can't really judge the moment. So I don't know. I'm completely ignorant of this. So I can't really have any opinion then. Jason, Jason won't play a game on the phone. Trust me.
I hate phone games.
He hates phone games. Thank
I
you.
really don't like them.
I love them.
I know you do.
And self-blame, with this effect being the hardest to overcome specifically for women with strict religious backgrounds condemning non-marital relations. This is exactly the sort of person Jane was, and so in addition to looking for more confession out of Sean, Major also wants closure for Jane, in the form of her abuser explicitly saying that he forced and completely took advantage of her against her will. But as we're seeing,
Yeah?
Sean can't quite commit to saying he was fully in the wrong here.
Just her dealing with her lustful mind. She has a lustful mind. I mean, honestly, she battles with all the time. Her and her and others, she shelters herself inside because of her lustful mind. And I'm going to help her with that if any way I can before I actually surrender.
Sean talks a bit about the things that have gone wrong in his life to lead him to this point, and then he starts to break down, which is a huge emotional shift from the unbothered demeanor he's been keeping up.
sorry you're going through everything. You're still a human. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter, Sean. It does. And your whole moment might be right now.
It doesn't matter.
It does. You've given her peace, right? You give her peace by being honest, right? Do you agree with me? I know, because I know what she wanted. She wanted you to be honest so that she can feel like a good girl, because she is one.
Major continues to hear Sean out while soothing and showing concern, which are important steps in continuing
You
to
don't
build
do
trust and
games either on
rapport
the
that will
phone.
pay off down the road.
Yeah.
It don't matter. Life to me, I died a long time ago on the cross.
Aw,
Whatever
boo-hoo.
happens to me, it doesn't matter. It's temporary life anyways.
Okay.
She tries to get Sean to see how his actions will have a long-term negative effect on his victim, but he still finds a way to avoid this mentally.
Do you think this will impact her for a long time?
Didn't cure her lost thoughts. She'd be able to move on and stay focused now.
What the fuck?
Do you think it will cause her some trust issues?
She's always had trust issues.
Do you think they'll be worse?
Can't get no worse. She's still single, never been married, 36.
36.
She has really bad trust issues.
Major is about to shift the
Gee, I wonder why she has really bad trust issues. In fact, what you did to the girl, you actually validated why she has trust issues. So you made it even worse for her. You piece of shit.
conversation to Elizabeth once more. She tells Sean that when she says they always figure things out in the end, she really means it and lets him know that this can be a one-conversation deal if they can manage to sort everything out properly.
We can't find Elizabeth. We'll find her, but we can't right now. Hey, look at me. Look at me. I need your help.
Why not?
Okay? I need your help. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not gonna leave your side. We're gonna help it. I'm gonna ask you for your help here. Okay? Are you hearing me okay? Are you understanding me when I talk?
Yeah.
Can you help me?
Major remains firm, letting Sean know that the truth will eventually catch up to him. But interestingly, instead of intimidating him with a demand that he reveal where Elizabeth is, she gives him a small feeling of power by sincerely requesting his help. Sean is, of course, unwilling to come right out and say what he did at first, but the interrogator keeps appealing to his emotions.
You came in and you said, I don't care about me anymore. I died a long time ago.
That just sounds like something.
Good.
You're trying
Yeah,
to help
that
the
sounds fun.
situation with, let's just put it in perspective, with what you've described with,
You want any more hostess?
No,
as
I'm
far
good.
as doing things wrong, that's pretty
let
much,
me know.
there it is, right?
Alright.
I'm good.
So really, anything that's happened with Elizabeth is the same exact thing. Am I right? Am I right or wrong?
You can't do
We
the
should
same
all be
thing.
wearing matching
No,
onesies.
I mean, as a level of
Yes.
seriousness. It can't be a whole lot different than that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'd say it's a whole lot different.
Tell me how.
Sean remains ambiguous, trying to measure what the police already know, but he's all too aware that the Jane and Elizabeth situations aren't equal, because one involves murder, and Major tries to unpack his vague statement.
Hi, Zabonkers. How are you, boo? You're snuggled in. Monkey Toast is snuggled in bed with some coffee.
That's good.
Ooh.
I wish I had some coffee.
I wish you had coffee too, my
But we
boo.
got Red Bulls. This is great. We got
It
blessed.
is.
We got blessed.
Amen.
Very wonderful.
Jesus loves us.
He does. He really loves you.
He loves you too.
I know he does. Probably not deserving.
Oh, baby.
But I love him. I do love him, and that's why he loves me so much.
Baby, you're his son.
I know that. I love him.
I don't think she's okay. We're past that, I think. We're past that.
Oh, she's calling him out.
What?
You know she's not okay. Pretty much. You already know.
That's what I believe. That's what I believe. I know.
She said that maybe she's better off, though.
Hey,
What the
she's
fuck?
fine. There's some things that I know about her that
In life,
I do.
mentally abused.
That's just some little piece of it. Yeah,
Just a little piece of it.
And stuff.
it's bad.
Fire. Around.
Her own people.
We can tell Sean is getting closer to that confession, as he's already making justifications for ending her life. However, he suddenly decides to tell a story about his mother, saying spiteful words after being scammed. The interrogator's response is measured.
There was this lady. You know, buy some magazines. She brought over magazines, right, to my mom. And my mom paid her. And, well, no, she ordered magazines. She didn't actually just give them. She had to order them.
Yes,
She paid
Slumber
like
Party
$50
too.
for these magazines, and then she never got them. My mom's supposed to be a
Yeah.
Christian woman and stuff.
Yeah.
About that. She'll get hers. You know, something's gonna catch up with her someday.
Yeah.
Wishing her dead.
You know what I think I understand about you? You're like a perfect example of watching the people who matter to you let you down, and watching
Ooh, 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 ooh.
what it creates in you.
Ooh, Slumber Party.
Now, when I first heard Sean go on this rant, I thought this magazine seller anecdote was just a tangent to stall for time. However, Sean is going to explain the horrifying significance of this story later on. So keep this incident in mind. For now, Major continues to remind Sean of the people worried about Elizabeth, who desperately need answers.
She has a mom.
That's awesome, Stacia.
You help me?
You love Ashniko too? Oh my god, she is so hot. She's a sexy bitch. The Slumber Party girl.
Yeah, I know who she is. I feel like Red Foreman or like Archie Bunker.
What do you mean?
Like I'm just married. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm married.
You're married and you're happy.
Yeah. Like the talk of like lascivious, weird fucking sex shit, and that's all. It's every day, if you notice. That's all it is talking about sex.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? I'm married.
He's like, why? I'm married. Oh, baby.
You know what I mean? It's a really weird, it's like a spirit of sex is over the world or something. But not wholesome, like good sex, like perverse shit.
Do I feel like with my past that these crimes will bring out triggers? Possibly. Maybe.
Yeah, she said if they went into the details, the minute details of the rape, that would trigger you.
Yeah, that would trigger me
They
if they
skip that shit.
They skip the trigger in moments.
Yeah, they skip the really bad stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad somebody feels that way, man. Like, it's very perverse. But anyway.
You're so cute.
Nah, that's why I say I was born for, like, the 40s. In that sense. Kinda.
He's so innocent.
Kinda.
I'm glad they censor the more graphic scenes. We don't need that mental picture. No, we don't.
No, that's
No.
too much.
She was hard and tied up is enough.
Yeah.
I don't need it to know anything else.
Yeah, I mean, he would be going step by step by step.
Oh,
Like
no.
each
No.
thing he was doing.
No. That sounds horrible.
You don't need to hear that.
No.
That's why they cut it.
Yeah, exactly. We should do a John Wayne Gacy one next.
That would be cool.
All right. We'll do him.
Could we have his interrogation videos? Man, that would be crazy.
We'll look into John Wayne Gacy. We'll do it.
Like his interrogation videos.
Yeah, let's see if we can find if he
That
has
would be
one.
awesome.
Maybe he doesn't, though. It's probably interviews or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
What's your mom like?
Feels like a failure. Devastated. Yeah. She wants to bury her daughter.
Sean continues to struggle with his disbelief that they haven't already found the body.
I know you're just giving me a chance.
What?
You're giving me a chance. You already know.
I am?
Yeah, you're giving me a chance.
Can you take me to her?
You've already found her?
I haven't found her.
No.
No.
Because you act like something happened to her already.
Hey,
I don't know. You're trying to find somebody that did something to her.
more important than finding what happened to her is finding her body. Can you do that much for me?
Obviously, investigators would eventually want to know the details of exactly what happened to Elizabeth.
My
But by
baby.
boiling down her request to
I
just
have
this
one.
one simple action
You
of
have
showing them
some.
the body, Major focuses Sean's attention on a singular, tangible goalpost, despite the storm of conflicted thoughts rushing through his head at this moment.
Wow.
But Sean defies
I like
expectations.
that.
It's like the interrogators have gotten him 99% of the way towards confessing about Elizabeth. But instead of giving them that last 1%
There's a good
they
interrogation
need,
you
he
should
switches
watch
gears
that is short, like
and
15
clearly
minutes, called The
implies that
Legend
there
of
are
Jeff.
other victims.
Alright.
I might not be able to take you to her. Maybe someone else. Or others. If it matters.
It does.
One more toke.
Have we ever had golden rings? No.
I don't know. There might not be none.
Don't think we have.
He's rapidly going back and forth with indecision, seeming completely lost on what course of action to take, and knowing that there's no going back if he says too much. Sean expresses some misgivings, but Major reassures him that she will support him.
I'm not gonna leave your side, okay? Believe that.
You'd be a good person to
Enjoy.
inside.
We can shed some light on why things happened, right? We can dissect her personality. We can figure out a few things about her, okay?
Elizabeth.
Yeah, we can explain. We can put some value to what happened, okay? Will you take me to her? You and me.
Making Sean feel like he has a lifeline in this stressful situation is key, and Major has repeatedly shown him that she is trustworthy and cares about his well-being. Sean starts to
But she
leak some of his true
doesn't.
feelings about Elizabeth,
He's
and his
dumb.
words feel more on the bitter and disdainful side.
Everybody asks if there's something already wrong with her, and she's. Should be sad for her. Be sad for her. That's what she wants everybody to do. Feel sorry for her.
The decent hybrid. It's tasty. Yeah, dude.
Major stays quiet and lets Sean rant, and we can hear much of his motivation in his vindictive words.
She'd mentioned about not wanting to be alive before that one time. But
The
it was
mic was
time
fucking
that's
up.
Others. Oh my goodness. She should have been taken out back or put in some institution a long time ago. Something.
Why? Because she didn't want to have sex with you?
They almost need a special city for all the retards out there collecting the retard check.
Wow, he's a dick.
So they're unable to go out and get a work job. And they collect their $700 some a check. So we need to get them out of there because good thing I'm going to jail. So I'm probably about ready to stay. People, capable, resources. I hate to say it.
Here
I
we
hear
see the
you,
first indicator of
Stacia.
one of Sean's biggest core beliefs. He would later claim in a letter that government assistance took his victims' minds. We'll dive deeper into this fixation later. Here's where things take a completely unexpected twist. Despite his reluctance to reveal where Elizabeth is, Sean suddenly spills the beans about another girl entirely.
Oh my god, there's another one?
Take it to a place in Mansfield.
Where she is. Where are you gonna take me to Mansfield? Where there's another girl?
Where there's a girl. Letting you
Oh my
She's
god.
alive.
know. Right here on my forehead.
Alright. What happened to her? Hey, are you okay? What happened? Is she gone?
She's been gone. I no hope.
Okay. Is anybody, has she been buried or did you just leave her somewhere? Is she missing? You don't know?
I know I loved her.
Yeah, that's love, honey.
It's good. It's like I can you lie all the time.
Okay.
Rough. she was so lost in this world. All she knew was she was adopted, so she's been ate by
Okay.
one extremely killer so long.
Is she in a house? What is she in?
Wood.
She's in the woods?
So this guy, like, falls in love with these women so much that he rapes and kills them?
Fake blubbering. Ugh.
And then he mourns their loss after. Like, what the fuck? He's probably it's probably real, but he's crying for himself. Talk about loving them to death. Yeah, exactly. It makes no sense, but I call this type of mentality the Frankenstein mentality. You remember when Frankenstein loved the little girl so much that he killed her?
Yeah, I guess we have.
Same type of mentality this dude has.
This is gross.
The Frankenstein mentality. He loves them so much that he kills them.
Oh. Oh.
My baby.
Oh. I feel old as shit.
Okay. How long has she been there? How long?
June.
June? Okay. And she's the one that scratched you like that? Alright, what's her name?
Candace.
Candace?
Cunningham.
Cunningham?
That's the front girl, so I took her to the woods.
Okay. Why'd you put her in the woods? Because you were afraid? Were you afraid? Is that why you put her in the woods?
I told her I was going to lay her ass down in the woods. If you like it, you can.
Candace Cunningham lived in a vacant home with Sean for a while. Her mother didn't worry when her daughter went silent for a few months, as
Oh
the
my
girl had told her
God.
mother she was planning to move from Mansfield to North Carolina soon, and wouldn't be available.
She looks like another girl that, you know, was mentally ill.
What? This guy needs a bullet.
He preys upon the vulnerable.
Mentally challenged.
Yeah, he preys
And they're
upon the
Christian.
vulnerable.
Jesus is gonna rip that guy in half.
He deserves it.
Yeah. When he dies, Christ himself will rip his soul in half, dude.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
He deserves it. He did it to himself, really.
Definitely. That's reprobate.
That or had a mental disability. Yeah.
No, we can't. Like, it's always, oh, they're mentally ill, they're mentally ill, they're mentally ill. Like, is that what we're going to say all the time? This guy clearly, it's clear what he was doing. Sexual deviancy, fucking forcing himself on girls and tying them up and shit.
That's correct.
He knows what he was doing. It's not mental illness. It's like, fucking hell.
No.
He knows
You
what
can
he's doing.
you can be mentally ill and not do bad things.
Yeah,
It's not an excuse.
he knows what he's doing.
Sandra says that Allah will throw him in the pit of hell. That's
The
correct.
guy just cut his soul in half. Fucking gross.
Absolutely believe in justice after death. It helps to cope with monsters like this, knowing they'll get their punishment one way or another. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
That poor girl.
Girls, this is,
I know, but I'm looking at her pictures right now.
yeah, it's fucking wrong.
Much. One thing she did share with her mom, though, was that she had met the perfect guy and was excited at the prospect of getting married. The next time she heard news about her daughter was when the police knocked on her door following Sean's confession. Candace had never been reported missing. Her loved ones have described the young woman as a loving and determined person who unfortunately got caught up in the wrong crowd and made some bad choices. She had 2 kids, but both were taken away in 2009 by Children's Services, possibly due to her drug use.
Oh, no.
Her family had hoped that things would change for the better when Candace moved to Mansfield for a fresh start. She made some friends who remember that the 4-foot, 9-inch, 100-pound girl had a loud personality and would always help neighbors out and make them laugh, despite her own struggles. When Candace and Sean got together, these friends noticed that they were inseparable, but, unfortunately, volatile. Although the exact status of their relationship was a mystery to friends, Candace had her Facebook account set to married on Christmas Day of 2015.
Really?
A few short months after sharing a photo of Sean and saying when he asked her to marry him, she replied, "I told you that I was going to be there to the end." The interrogator asks,
And
where
then
the
he
murder
kills
took
her.
place.
About 20th July after that. Or get down the street.
That's so fucked up.
She didn't get down the street. Took her ass out. Accident.
You
It's
choked her
strange
ass
how
out
Sean
by
says that he
accident.
had already threatened
By
Candace
accident?
of what he would do, but then makes it out to be an accident. He then starts crying, but it's difficult to discern what he's talking about, or if it even relates to Candace.
Oh, you know why I'm crying?
Hey,
Because I love boys and good birds and all that. Those little boys, and I deserve. But I just wanted to share that with her because all of my past.
okay.
All the wrongs that I've done.
Because
She'll deserve me. She'll be okay.
Sean describes the location where he put the body, and then the detective begins establishing what exactly Sean did to Candace.
okay, when you said it was an accident, you guys got into it, and then how did you do it? Like,
She kept attacking me.
okay,
Told her to keep trying to hit me. Choked you out once. So I did. I stopped right in the middle when I stopped. And I thought she was going to be able to, like, that was before she
Yeah,
went
she
limp.
asked.
okay.
She asked to be choked out.
Oh.
Yeah, she asked for it. What a nutball. Yeah, exactly. Only the Lord knows. At the end of the day. Mm-mm-mm.
Trying to fight, like, calm her down. So I stopped her, right? See if she'll calm down if I stop. She didn't. She still attacked me. Right? Ah, jeez. So I just choked her. She went limp. She woke up, though. Went crazy again. I had enough.
Right.
She would try to commit. She has a bad record of hers. She was
Okay.
trying to commit. Like,
You'll notice that no matter how many people Sean hurts, he can always somehow find a way to believe they're the one who wasn't stable.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we keep this people like this away from people too.
Yep.
If only there was a way we could prevent this stuff from happening. Like, I think people from a child up really need to be taught gentleness.
Yeah. Love.
Mm-hmm. Love.
That's what my mom taught me.
Mm-hmm.
Love. A kid that's taught that will not end up like that guy.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No. He always blames everyone else for his actions. It's so fucking weird.
Definitely.
He doesn't own his shit.
No.
Like, own it. You're fucked up, dude. It's okay.
He frames
We're
his
all
crimes
fucked
by
up.
saying how someone provoked him
Yeah,
and
but he's
caused him
fucked
to
up and he's
respond the
gotta
way he
be put
did.
away.
Yeah,
Something
he needs to
never
go
seems
away.
to think
Yeah.
deeply about is why he's the common denominator in all these tragedies.
Nighttime or during the day?
Yeah, 3 o'clock in the morning, I hit my face with a bag of tobacco. I just snapped.
Yeah.
I did.
Shit you in the face with a bag of tobacco?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
dead asleep.
What?
Okay.
What'd you do that? Leon, what face up? Yeah, he was okay. What'd you do that for?
Yeah.
Roll me a cigarette. That's what she said. You want me to roll you a cigarette?
Sean actually agreed to demonstrate on video his method of strangulation.
Which would be easier
Oh
for
my
you to kind of show
God.
up or to have like a stuffed animal, doll, teddy bear thing to however you had that. I can go grab one from these guys or something.
I was thinking I'd demonstrate on you.
That's what you want to do. Look at that big smile.
Candace.
Tiny him, right?
Candace was. She was. I try to keep her calm down a lot, and I didn't really mean to. I fought with her for like 3 days. A lot of it was mainly face to face. You know, just like, and I wouldn't have much pressure. I didn't even tie her up at all.
Okay.
I didn't tie her, wrapped her up in the blanket.
What the fuck? He speaks about it so...
That was a boy.
That was a Gavin. But what I was gonna say is he speaks about it so casually.
Yeah.
Like he's talking about what he just read in the fucking newspaper or something.
That's not.
And like he legitly sounds like he's in love with these girls, but yet he like... It's so weird.
Yeah. This is very unique.
Yeah, this
You
dude...
found a unique one.
Yeah, this dude, complete and utter psychopath.
But there's something about the smell from the house or something, didn't you say?
What? That's what the thing said. I don't know.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see.
Good night, Celeste. Didn't Dahmer's dad claim you can have similar thoughts? You can inherit your parents' behaviors? I don't know. Like, Dahmer's dad seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Like, Dahmer's one of those incidents where you could have a normal childhood and you're still fucked up. You know? Because Dahmer had actually really good childhood. Like, he has good parents, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ted Bundy had a normal childhood, too. You're right. Hi, Idiocracy.
I kept her around for 3 days trying to get her, and we even would walk around town every night after our big fights. And then we go to bed.
I don't know if Dahmer had siblings or if Dahmer was, like, an only child, so I don't know. I can't answer that. Dahmer had a half-brother? Oh, okay. I wouldn't know.
Bed at the third night, and it's almost like she just keeps adding it on.
Okay.
This is,
And then she woke you up in the night when she smacked you in the face with that tobacco bag.
Yes.
Then what happened?
then it's like, oh, this is it. I'm like, oh, okay. So these past 3 days, I mean, you just want me to finish you, and I grabbed her and that's when I choked her. She passed out. Grabbed her from behind and passed out. I mean, I was irritable. I had enough. I just finished her.
Bro.
Candace was probably more of an anger. She's tired of all of her lies, so I just tortured her for probably about 3 days.
The same way that you tortured?
No, I didn't have sex with her. But
What a nut.
What were you doing?
I guess we really didn't torture for 3 days because we were getting out of our arguments, right? Little choking things. And then we'd go walk around town, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She could have easily just went and, like, hollered help or anything anytime, so. But we ended up going back to
There
the
he is,
hospital,
blaming the woman again.
and then she still wants to start arguing and stuff. And, like, she wanted, I mean, what am I supposed to do? People who actually want to die, and they keep. I mean, like every day I had handfuls of pills. Something in my hair, like, I mean, Candace Cunningham is just another. It's crazy. Should not be out in society. I'm tired of fighting all this stuff in court for this reason.
I know. His behavior is so weird.
Very.
Something
You get very big cool points for painting your nails.
able to work. Really need to do something about that.
So you feel like, I'm going to paraphrase, so correct me if I say something wrong, okay? You feel like they're a burden to society. They're doing that thing,
They're
they're,
handicapped, you know what I mean, unless there's a medical reason.
okay.
So it's to cop out and say, I can't, I can't deal with the customers. She sliced her belly.
During the argument that you had with her, how deep was the slice?
It bled a little bit.
Okay, did Candace do that, or did you?
Candace did. You'd be a witness. I don't know.
Oh yeah. She cut her own self. Come on, man. Why does he keep trying to feign I'm really a nice guy shit?
Maybe he believes he is.
Nah, dude sounds insecure as fuck.
Psychotic.
And with narcissists, that's their deepest thing. Their deepest secrets is they are insecure.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, man. You'll fit in here, dude. Mi casa is su casa. We all high in this motherfucker, so don't worry. We're 420 friendly here.
Matter, but I mean, there's so many people that for Candace talking about just wishing she had died, tired of it. She throws that card out. Oh, feel sorry for me.
Sean is asked if he felt relieved after killing Candace.
With Candace, I was like, you finally got what you wanted.
On September 13th, Sean led investigators to Candace's body. This is the audio of that trip.
Because we have cadaver dogs, if I need to have one of the dogs meet us over there to make it easier, we can do that. If you don't know where...
I mean, should it be too hard to figure out when we get there? Okay. All right, buddy.
Police say Candace was dumped in the woods in June of 2016. She and Sean had been seeing each other for about 7 months before her death.
And then when the incident happened where she died, you kept her in there overnight, and then the next...
See? He loves them and then kills them. did he get away with this so long?
I don't know, man.
That's nuts.
Pretty scary.
He loves them and then he kills them. I just had a huge potato. Now I feel like one. I'm so full. I love potatoes for that reason.
Yeah.
I'm Irish. I should love potatoes.
I'd love some mashed potatoes.
I'd love to make you some of my mashed potatoes.
Yours is the best mashed potatoes.
I make the bestest mashed potatoes, babies.
Yes.
Baby.
Babies. Yeah.
I'm not Irish. I'm sorry. That's a shame.
You should be.
You're only everyone in the world becomes Irish only on, you know, St. Patrick's Day. That's the only time everyone becomes Irish. And I'm like, I've always been Irish.
Next day you took her to the brush. And then a couple days later is when you started the fire.
Yeah, I took her to the woods.
He burnt her house down.
I couldn't look at her, you know.
What did you cover her up with?
Blanket. Since it was dark, and I took the blanket just in case of like DNA and stuff, you know. I was like, well.
That night, you kept her in the house.
Yeah, it was about 4 in the morning. She back at me about 3 in the morning.
Right. Okay. So you kept her in the house overnight, and then the next day, did you go out and scope out where you were going to put her, or you just took her back there?
I just took her back there.
And about what time was it you took her back there?
Once it got dark,
Okay.
about 10.
About 10 at night? Okay, so the incident happened on the 16th, and on the 17th, you take her back, and you're going to show us where.
And then I straight across the creek and up, straight up the hill, about between 10 and 15 feet to the big shrub. And she,
He brought in a blanket to get her here, and then he was afraid there was going to be DNA on the blanket, so he brought the blanket back, put it in the house, and then a couple days later, he torched the house.
one of our people,
He torched the house, dude.
Insane, dude.
I walked backwards and
Kind of walk back.
dragged her backwards.
So you didn't fall down that embankment or anything?
Matter of fact, I did.
Yeah, I was going to say, kind of hard just to walk.
Kind of just empty-handed, I did.
Yeah, I'm just amazed that you were able to go down that steep embankment with somebody.
Dahmer cat. Okay.
Yeah. She was pretty alive. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like though she got it. Wow, heavier.
Back in the interrogation room, the detective attempts to transition Sean's confession about Candace into asking who else they can go and find. Sean replies with a morbid question.
How many before I made injections?
How many what?
How many people before I get illegal rejected?
Let's not worry about any of that. Who else?
Well, I already mentioned that one.
Who are you thinking of?
The house. It's not alone.
The house what?
That's not all of them.
Where I came from.
This dude's a
Yeah.
serial killer,
Is somebody in
dude.
there?
Like a serious serial killer.
Who is it? Is it Elizabeth? Where is she in there? In the closet? Which closet?
Upstairs.
Upstairs?
Major has managed to slowly get her foot in the door through kindness, repeated emphasis on honesty, and remaining neutral and non-judgmental. One by one, Sean's secrets are spilled as a result of her patience. Yet she remains calm and collected, not betraying
Holy
any
shit.
emotion as she continues her calculated questions.
I hate see people suffer.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. All right, Sean.
Nonsense.
You hate seeing people suffer, but you do horrible things to people at the same time. This man is a walking, talking contradiction. I love them, but I'll kill them.
That's crazy.
Okay. How did you do it, Sean?
She wanted more. She didn't at first. Because she came over. I said, I'm going to go home. Eat some barbecue chicken.
Okay.
Sean says he and Elizabeth played a game of Yahtzee at her apartment before heading to his place for barbecue chicken.
Let's go back home.
Okay.
She called me later. That's what I was doing. It was like 11 o'clock at night. No, maybe it's 10 o'clock. Right.
Maybe his brain wants to reject it and not feel guilty.
Yahtzee. Talk some more. Alright, that's fine if you want. She started bending down the went away. It's like, I'm not going to marry her. And I don't see no one else marrying her. She's going to be miserable all her life. For her. Sacrifice my life for her.
Okay.
Here we see Sean's habit of judging the worth of a...
You sacrificed your life for her, but yet you killed her. Okay, dude. How does that make...
Right.
Guratama is my favorite Sanrio. I know. I don't know what dead bug videos are, and I'm afraid to touch that. You love cinnamon roll? Aw.
other people's lives rearing its head again. Elizabeth didn't have a job, lived alone, and had been going through a particularly rough time.
Ooh, I
just
like the
before her
Benadryl
death
there.
because she was forced to give up her cat after proving unable to take proper care of it. There seems to be a trend in Sean's victims. He often selects people who are more isolated from friends and family, or mentally troubled, people who wouldn't immediately be reported missing, and people who are looking for someone, a friend, to talk to. Sean's just told Detective Major about 2 people he murdered, and now she goes to get him snacks. She's picked up on exactly who Sean is. Someone who attacks when he feels challenged, or things don't go his way. She'll stay on his good side, to the point where he will continuously request to speak with her. This loyalty and cooperation he affords Detective Major may seem like a killer who just wants to keep talking about himself, but it's a stark contrast to how he treated the initial interrogator. In these clips, it seems that Sean is griping about presumably the first guy's attitude.
Do you feel better that you've talked to me?
Yeah, I appreciate you coming in here. We weren't going to get nowhere.
Well, sometimes it's personalities, or if he already knows something and you don't want to say it, but
But he's lying to me too, so
I don't know what was said because I wasn't in here, but
I'm not saying he was lying, but
right, because he's a straightforward guy.
lack of information. The other guy's temper was getting a little carried away. Patient.
You'll recall that the first interrogator was relatively respectful of Sean during their conversation. and only really pointed out his clear deception or feigned ignorance that what he'd done was wrong a few times, such as when he kept offering alternatives for where Elizabeth might be.
He always blames them, though, on why he does it.
My issues with Elizabeth. You said you helped her find peace. You set her free. That's what she said. Yeah, how'd you help her? Told her quit listening to everybody in confusions. People always have opinions. Everybody need to get away. Get away where? She's talking about going anywhere? No. Some family in Florida. She ain't got no way to get down to Florida. I think she's still probably around here.
Mm-hmm.
Sean's offended reaction, which made him shut down completely to this first interrogator, shows us just how important control is to him. In the clips that follow, we'll see how Major stays on Sean's good side and garners confession after confession out of an initially uncooperative suspect. First, he finishes the story of what happened with Elizabeth.
She came over about 11 o'clock. She brought over Yahtzee, who played Yahtzee.
Yeah, I noticed that too. He's intimidated by males.
There you go.
Something tells me that something happened with him and his dad or a stepdad or something.
Probably.
He doesn't like men, but at the same time,
He murders women.
he murders women. So he probably saw his mom hurt when he was little too.
And sexually fucking tortures them. It's pretty bad, dude.
He gets off at suffering.
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
You think he'd be afraid of me? Probably not. He may look at me as a challenge. Just saying. It's about power sometimes. Like they said, he also is a control freak and will pick apart how you approach him if it's not respectful to him. Yeah. You think he'd be intimidated by any woman with confidence? Maybe. He totally saw them as a challenge. Exactly. Well, right now I'm going to partake in some ding-dongs.
Ding dong.
All he did was pick you up. Why are you so over dramatic?
She just always is.
You would think you were killing her.
Yeah, I know.
Ellen was offended. She wants to see. That's great, though. The whole way of him setting her up. Holy fuck, woman. My kitty's name, Watermelon. She's a good girl. She's just a drama queen.
She is.
11 o'clock at night. So you guys played Yahtzee, and then that happened.
She couldn't sleep, so she called me.
You want one?
Okay.
Yeah.
After Elizabeth's call, the duo met at the YMCA and walked back to his place.
I was showing her around with that.
Oh.
She insisted to look around, right?
Okay.
So I go upstairs.
Oh my god.
I showed her upstairs. And she was kind of like, trying to put moves on me, which was weird because when talking to her, I didn't really feel that.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you end up having sex with her?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Didn't do nothing with her at all. I was
Oh, this is so good.
I know.
choking
You were
So
choking her.
good.
her. Yeah.
Did you choke her from the front or choke her from behind?
The right amount of sugar to give you enough energy.
Well, it just happened that I choked her. I just reached up and just choked her right. I asked her, "You sure that's what you want?" And I mean, because she thought about like killing herself. So I mean, I do that as jokes a lot of times, like even with friends, like guy friends, whatever. You know what I mean? They start talking about killing herself. Well, we wait on, joke around, see,
Yeah.
whatever, But now it's to the point, it's like, okay, let's see exactly how much they really do want it done. You know what I mean? So I put a little fear in her, right?
Yeah.
She fought it, like, I was like, that's not what you want. And then she, like, just started blowing up, like, she took it out of proportion, like, I was just joking. She was wake up, strangle,
Okay.
strangle, like, you know what I
What
mean?
the fuck?
She got all serious.
Sean has said that while he strangled Elizabeth, she was saying, "Forgive him, Lord, for he don't know what he does."
And when I'm calming her down, she just lost it.
He's like, she's freaking out, man. I'm just like choking her, and I don't understand why she's freaking out. Sociopath. No empathy with this man. None. What guy friends joke around with a friend saying they want to kill themselves? I know, right? This guy is fucking crazy as shit. Like, what did this to him?
Yeah. Demon.
You panicked, then you just did it again.
Sex demon.
I didn't have another choice. To slowly, like, calm her down. And she was just like, moving around and stuff like that. So throw her on the bed, and, like,
So, did you strangle her again? Is that how she died, or is there another way?
just the way she did it.
That's the way?
Once again, Sean was more than happy to demonstrate his method of strangulation on video.
Okay, this is Detective Major. We have Detective Evans in the room, Sean Great in the room. It's September 15, 2016, time 1704. Sean's going to demonstrate the way he uses in strangulation in cases that we have been discussing.
Well, Elizabeth, right? It's kind of shocking, right? I was just joking, like, how she wished she could kind of would die, you know what I mean? I was like, so I'll help you. I just feel like this, you know what I mean? Like,
Pushing forward and
Yeah.
up at the same time.
right, and she kind of just like whacked my hands and like started flipping out and stuff like that to the point where I had to just like grab her and I just would lean forward and just press. You know what I mean?
Chokehold. That's proper chokehold.
What the fuck?
Right underneath there. That's a proper chokehold.
What the fuck?
Ugh.
He has no empathy for anyone.
You could stop now, right?
Okay. All right, that explains that with
She
Elizabeth.
fall down.
You just gotta go down with her.
Yeah, I take her down and finished. And even after she stopped breathing, I held on until she messed her pants pretty much.
Okay,
You know what I mean? I didn't release.
okay.
I continued.
Sean says that everything just happened so fast that he had only met her just a few days before. So in summary, his explanation for this murder
You know,
essentially
the
boils
devil
down
was
to
something
Elizabeth had supposedly talked
Right.
about wanting to die. He wanted to test how much this was true.
What the fuck?
He just choked and choked and choked until she shit and pissed her pants, because that's, they're dead then. When they shit and piss themselves.
That's so fucked. He strangles her as a test. Do you really want to die? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, dude.
Nuts.
He started strangling her, but once she fought back, He tried to give her a hug and tell her she does want to live, but at that point she told him to get off because he had just tried to hurt her. He says, quote, "She just kept going on, and it's like, Jesus, save me, and it's like you're not saved. My compassion wanted to just free her from this world." Sean says at that point, it was like way too late, and so he finished strangling her.
I'm like, Elizabeth was more different because I played around with her. She got scared and just jumped the gun. I thought we were better than that. I put her in a closet, threw a bunch of clothes in the closet.
Yeah.
And it.
His version of compassion, like his version of love, which is... Man, I've never seen someone have these issues before. These are really weird issues. Like, he loves them, but then he kills them because he loves them, and then he mourns them. Oh my God, this is weird.
I've just been killing a lot of flies. Opening the window, letting the flies out. It's crazy. As far as the stink is what it does.
Yeah.
It soaks in. The smell soaking into everything else.
Ah, that's what it is.
Clothes and things.
Like the dead bodies.
Yeah.
Are there any other girls in the house right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One down in the basement.
Down in the basement? What's she in?
She's just in the basement.
She's just down in the basement?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
She just let me on to the point of there was no stopping, and it really irritated me.
Perhaps Sean has just mentally given up at this point. He knows they're going to search the abandoned...
Oh, she led him on, too.
Yeah, I mean, how many times can that happen?
Yeah, he's so desirable. Hey, honey, how are you? She led me on, and, you know, I just decided to just become a vicious monster to her and, you know, kill her. I mean, she led me on, guys. I mean, she deserved it. Like, holy fuck, dude. Wow. The delusions.
home, and so he just comes clean about yet another victim with no resistance. Major is caught off guard by the sudden and easy admission. But she will now start learning more about another unfortunate woman who sadly didn't make it away from Sean with her life.
What's her name?
Stacy.
Stacy?
Her name is
What's her last
Stacy.
name?
Sean can't even recall the full name of the woman he killed.
How did you meet her?
Walking to the gas station.
Okay. When did that happen? Here's September. Today's the 13th. Tuesday the 13th. So you've had, since Sunday the 11th. What day do you think this happened with Stacy?
Probably Thursday.
Probably Thursday.
You heard right. Less than a week earlier, Sean had taken yet another victim's life, with so little time between these recent violent attacks.
Right? He just assumes the women's motives. He always does, and then he blames them for the, like, this supposed motive. Like,
Mm-hmm.
is he being honest, or is he just making excuses because his, like, conscious, like, it's so weird.
No,
this
every
is-
time it's this bitch led me on, this bitch led me on, so then he takes him out.
His mom must have really hurt him somehow. Maybe, man.
I don't think
This is messed
so. I
up.
think he knows exactly what he's doing.
Who knows how many more women could have fallen prey to Sean had Jane not gotten help in time. The Stacy Sean is referring to is 43-year-old Stacy Stanley, sometimes known as Stacy Hicks. She'd been battling to stay off heroin for 6 months, leading up to her disappearance.
Thank
One day
you,
she
Nellie,
happened to
for
get
that
into some car
information.
trouble, and was grateful when someone appearing to be a good Samaritan showed up to lend a helping hand. This was September 8th.
What's she look like?
Stacy had driven from her town to Ashland for some shopping that day. She got her nails done at her favorite
All right,
place.
I'll look up dead bug next.
It was shaping up to be a great night, but unfortunately, Stacy's parade was about to be rained on by a flat tire. And, well, actual rain. Having to pull over alone in the dark was less than ideal for the woman, but after calling her son, who said he would send a family friend over to help, she stopped at a BP gas station and waited.
How did the conversation go that she ends up coming back to your place? Did you just walk up to her and start talking?
Well, it was raining. I had an umbrella. I was going to give her my umbrella. And then keep walking because she was standing outside. And then she had a flat tire in her car. You may give you a hand. She's like, well, I have someone coming. Okay. It's only one man job. I went ahead and walked down the circle, okay? And then back. And she was still there waiting. But then I went back up there in about 10 minutes.
All right, night, Scorpion.
Because of a mix-up, there was a delay in Stacy's assistants arriving, but she told her son that a different, nice gentleman was trying to help her out. When Stacy's family acquaintance arrived as requested, he was surprised to find the woman already accompanied by Sean, who ended up doing most of the work changing the tire once he was lent the tools. When the job was done, Stacy and Sean went inside the store, and the family friend took his leave, observing that Stacy seemed comfortable around this stranger. It was around 10:40 p.m. when the clerk noticed the pair enter, and Stacy took a phone call where she told her son she was fine and would be heading home. She proceeded to buy Sean a cup of coffee to thank him in what the clerk described as a chipper, good mood. They then walked out together.
I asked her if she wanted to hang out some time. Sure.
I found dead bug.
She asked me what I was doing that evening. So we started hanging out. She came in, and everything was fine. I mean, we ended up kissing.
Okay.
Just kind of like just happened.
Okay, Dahmer cat.
I don't know.
Okay.
It just went all bad.
In Sean's interviews, there's tons of empty silence, but Major never jumps in to fill that uncomfortable gap. She simply sits back and lets Sean add more and more details to his accounts. We can see at this point that Sean must have had an undeniable charisma to him. One girl who knew him as a teenager has explained. He was charming, he was always smiling, and he had those big blue eyes. All the girls liked Sean. However, his mother has interestingly clarified. Yes, he's good looking, but the devil's good looking too. He ain't no red horns and all that stuff. You find out he's charming, and of course that can charm the pants off anybody. Stacy may have been enamored to spend time with the kind man who had just gone out of his way to do a good deed for her. But unfortunately, she was about to be introduced to his dark side.
While she was there, did you decide you're going? That you were gonna kill her? At what point?
I didn't know. It wasn't planned, but the point is when she just gave me these flashbacks of all these other women, and just that's probably broken my heart to really break it down.
Okay.
Flashbacks like my mom, really. I mean, I hate to blame people, but
I know.
someone has to be blamed. I mean, I'm taking my blame.
I know you are.
Sean's issues with his mother are a whole other
There
rabbit
we
hole
go,
that we can dig
issues
into
with
later
Mom.
on. But for now,
Knew
I'll
it.
offer more explanation on why he felt Stacy had to lose her life.
Knew it.
I just needed to kiss, right? And started making out, and everything was fine, right? Then she started playing all this.
Like she didn't want to go farther than that?
Yeah, and that's when I called her on sugar daddies. I said, quit. But if I had listed out $40, then you'd do something. You know what I mean? Yeah, no matter what it is, it's going to get bad. There's probably just...
Sean again transitioned straight into how she reminded him of his mother.
One time she used to go to the bartender, she'd bring home guys all the time. I'd take them in a jaw, 4 years old.
In the end, it seemed to be a multitude of strange factors that
What
made Sean
the
snap
fuck?
that day.
Guys in the chat.
And she had sugar daddies. I call it like it, you know, I brought that up. And she just straight up lied to me. retire. And, oh, you know, it'll be some time and all this, you know what I mean? Because she was waiting on this guy to come change tire, which I want to change the tire with his tools though. When she was talking to him, I mean, so, whatever, you know what I mean? I'm used to that type of life.
So did you feel like she'd already sealed her fate when you watched her be manipulated to that man?
No. Once you lied to me.
About when you called her sugar, when you called her out on it.
Yeah.
So you,
Because of this guy, and she just took defense already, like, hey, he's just a friend. I said, just like everyone else, all the other women, they do not know that the more honest they are to me, the better we get along. You know what I mean? No matter what situation. Just be honest, you know what I mean?
It's really not clear why Sean would assume this man was her sugar daddy in the first place.
or did you have with her?
Maybe his mama had sugar daddies.
Yeah, first, kind of like, been around.
I wonder if he has sexual abuse in his past. He might. Yeah, exactly, Monkey Toast. Those early years in childhood really matter. They really do. Aw, watermelon. You're a cute ghost.
I want to go to sleep, so I want to go to sleep.
Yeah, watermelon's like, it's bedtime.
Yeah, she is.
We need the cuddles.
Yeah, we need cuddles.
Aw, you poor girls.
She slept on my hip last night.
He's a poor girl.
Good baby.
Oh, look at your little face. Look at your little face. That could be it.
She wanted to play that innocent thing. So I just kind of just snapped on her. They would play all innocent. She'd come home with me at 11 o'clock, don't even know me. I mean, kind of like, all of a sudden, I'm gone. But it could be something the devil, I don't know. Someone gave up on her.
Jesus.
In the same way he had with Jane, Sean videotaped his assault of Stacy on his cell phone. After he killed her, he wrapped her up, dragged her body to the basement, and covered it with trash. Yes, this was the same property where Jane was rescued, and Elizabeth's body was hidden. So in reality, when officers went to search, they were faced with a terribly gruesome and tragic scene. Everything was as Sean described, with
Oh my god, just bodies everywhere in that house.
Wow.
Stacy's decomposing body being discovered on the cold concrete floor, buried in debris. And upstairs, a closet covered in duct tape with a deplorable smell emanating from within held Elizabeth's body under a pile of clothing.
Oh my
Along with the stun
god.
gun that's been mentioned,
in his house.
investigators found brass knuckles that they believe could have been used on the victims. The following clip is Sean's visual demonstration of how he killed Stacy.
When you took women out,
Yeah.
took someone and like, they died with their tongue out of their mouth.
And she put her tongue out of her mouth?
I don't know, just that pressure that makes people's tongues stick out. And then after they die, it just makes them still. Their tongue stays out of their mouth.
Right. Did she try to fight you when you were strangling her?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
She maced me too.
She maced you?
Well, that's what happened, yeah, she maced me, right? I just snapped them off. Because what was the other thing? It was like,
Note to self. Mace isn't exactly the best defense item because it might make a man even more angry and kill your ass. So I think I'll go for the stun gun.
Yeah, taser.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
I'll go for the stun gun. That'll get his ass on the ground real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking son of a bitch. Yeah, I want a stun gun.
Okay. Cool.
Fucking asshole. No mace, ladies. Stun gun. Mace doesn't work. Sorry, I know that sounds vicious, but I'm just thinking of self-defense as a woman. Stun gun.
Mm-hmm.
Not mace. Stun gun. Put it on the wish list. That's funny. Yeah, I was taught to go for the throat and balls too. Yeah, right? Yep. Yep. I think like all women teach each other in a way how to defend themselves from that. Yeah, their eyes. I could say it, but it would be weird, but it's a thumb action you do with eyes that I learned with self-defense. I mean, it's vicious, but they coming after you. But that's neither here and there. Sorry. PTSD triggered. I'm very non-confrontational. I hate to have to get to this point, but it can save your life. Exactly. Exactly. Like you have to know how to defend yourself. You have to. You just don't put aggression out on others. It's called being meek. No, I pray I never get to go through another struggle like that again either. I don't know if I have the strength to fight that anymore. Yeah, no one deserves anything like that. It's okay, I survived. I'm a warrior. I stand tall.
When you had sex with her, did she want to, or did you have to make her?
No, I didn't have sex with her after that. I made her actually.
Yeah, thank
Stacy
you.
was reported missing on September 10th. After not hearing from the woman following her flat tire incident, her family grew extremely worried. The next day, her car was found abandoned. Sean has admitted to driving the vehicle after killing her and also taking $43 from her purse. In an odd but not surprising addition, Sean apparently quipped in one interview that Stacy told on herself about getting an assistance check each month. Given Sean's track record, we already know that this is something that really sets him off.
Money.
How long did you keep Stacy before she?
Oh, just about an hour.
Just about an hour.
Short time. Yeah, she flipped out. Acted up. So I didn't have a choice.
You didn't have a choice. Do you really? I mean, think about it. Did you really have a choice whether to kill her or not? Rationally. Looking back at it, do you have a choice?
Where I was.
She knew. I just like he really does not think of the people he's violating
No.
at all. It's so weird. It's like, she started flipping out. Well, maybe that should have led you to believe to leave her alone. But no, in his head, it was like, oh, she's flipping out. Let me kill her. Yeah, amen, Stacy. Amen. It's okay, Melly. It's okay. I cope through it.
You're my girl.
Oh, baby.
I love you.
I love you.
Oh, she knew where you were, meaning she knew, and you had already made her give you, like, forced that on her. So, is that what you're meaning?
We already bumped heads. I was gonna let her go till she released me. She was free and clear to go. Because she told me she had a grandchild, you know, everything.
Now here's where things take a turn. Sean will slip up a bit when talking about how many total victims there are. He says 4.
4.
4 what? 4 women? Okay, I'm missing one then. So that
No,
Candace.
that's okay,
Elizabeth,
Savonkers. This is
Stacy,
interesting.
And who else? Another Candace?
No, Stacy. Okay. So I'm wrong, actually. I hadn't really thought down. You know what I mean? I was wrong saying 4. I thought there was like 4. It's like.
Every time you move, she bitches. Watermelon, child.
Okay.
Sean may have played it off, but the truth is, his list of victims isn't over quite yet. And at this point, Major really has no way of knowing just how deep the iceberg is. Just when it seems like he's finally come clean, he tacks on another crime to his quickly growing history. Major will continue to see what other secrets she can get from Sean, but first, he reveals more details about the psychology of his attack on Jane.
Were you gonna do the same thing to?
Yeah, no.
What's the difference?
Because she'll help people.
Because she helps
She'll be
people.
able to help people. Yeah. That's totally not too. Just so many things, reasons not to
Okay.
for her. Even though she was mentioned she wanted to die before. Then she even mentioned that she wanted to die then. Because of the abuse I was putting her in.
Sean's reasoning
What
for
the
why he wouldn't
fuck?
kill Jane is just another example of his belief that he is essentially someone who doles out justice, or so-called mercy to those he sees as lost causes. He seems to feel he has the right to judge people's morality and worthiness to life. That being said, with how close together his crimes with Elizabeth,
That's very
Stacy, and
angel.
Jane were, it's also very possible that Sean was on a spree, and that Jane wouldn't have made it much longer before his inevitable
Why
snap.
is it the shirtless ones
He
that are
continues to tell
psychotic?
far-fetched stories about instances where he thought Jane was showing her lustful desires.
Lustful
What
desire.
did you tell her was playing tennis?
When she was playing tennis, you could tell.
She was so frustrated she couldn't even play tennis. She wanted to go back to the apartment. There's a couple of
And you know this?
She was
How?
frustrated. What? Yeah. What the fuck? This is very dangerous to even show. Like, because this is something
Like, that's why I'm interjected.
so crazy.
And he knows this how about the female.
I could just tell she was frustrated, man. Like, she needed my fucking dick, dude. She needed it. I just knew that. So he did that because it was needed, and she needed it, and she knows she needed it. What the fuck is... I've never heard anything like that in my life. This guy is unique, dude.
Yeah.
He is fucking unique.
He might think he has
Yeah, but yeah,
ESP. Yeah.
Predator mindset. That's right.
G-Man's kind of like that. Just saying. He always thinks he can manipulate people about what they do. It's weird. Anyway.
The first one, we're playing with this neighborhood kid. He's having a hard time catching it. Well, we had peaches, juggle, and well, they were kind of gooey and they were already splitting. He had sticky fingers. I'm like, well,
I'll say this, debunkers. I have the logical reasoning that there is no way that I could possibly read the mind of another human being. I don't believe that's possible. Now, I think with what me and Jason have, what people may say is we read each other's minds. But I think it's because we know each other so much.
Yeah, we could guess pretty well what we're gonna say next,
Yeah.
which is cool, actually.
So no, I have no telepathic experience because I don't believe they exist.
Well, yeah, we're next to each other all day. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true too.
And we also used to watch each other's videos all the time too, back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I had an out-of-body experience when I got saved.
No. I haven't. Joined at the hip almost. Yep.
I want to cuddle your bum so bad.
He wants to be joined at my hip.
Yeah.
But he's so simple-minded. It's actually embarrassing. Yeah, that's it about this guy too. He's just gross. Oh, G-Man. Oh, yeah. He is simple-minded too. I don't know why he always wanted to argue with me about feminism, and I'm just like, what? What do you think about this about feminism? What, G-Man? Like, why are you asking me this? Hey. Anyway.
Fuck this.
go grab a peach. And that way you might be able to catch the football. Get a sticky finger.
Yeah.
She says, sticky fingers, peaches, not the day. I can't remember the exact word, but she's talking about sticky fingers.
Yeah.
Sticky fingers. I mean, she said it. I don't know.
Sean is exhibiting many patterns of thinking common with offenders. He assumes he knows what Jane was thinking and feeling on the inside, and is essentially saying, I could tell she wanted me to do it. He blames what he did to her on her supposed provocative comments.
Oh my God,
even though
that's
he can't
like
even remember what he thinks
Dust
Jane
Till
said.
Dawn, dude.
All this serves to
Yeah.
Seth, not Seth. Richie.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino.
Richie Gecko.
He did a good job at getting in
They're
that headset.
really, well, when they explained that, that's the first thing I thought of. And Richie is a sex offender. That's
Yep.
he was.
Yep.
That was his thing.
Yep.
So, wow, that's awesome. I love Dust Till Dawn. It's such a fucking good movie.
That's so creepy. How can you like assume what other people are thinking? It's illogical.
He's a narcissist, psychopath, rapist,
It's so illogical.
murderer.
Anyway.
once again minimize his crime by suggesting she wanted it to happen all along.
She worked in my way. It was the same thing when we were playing badminton, right? It was the way she was sitting there, I couldn't even get under her to bring it up. To get it down. Like that. So we had a good run. I just couldn't get it up. She looks at me and smiles like, oh, I couldn't get it up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's cool. good with it. Other times at the table, people would say stuff like that, and she would catch right on, the warpness of it.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that Jane was already in her
No, you wanted
mid-30s
to
when she
hear
met
that.
Sean. Assuming Sean's stories have any truth to them here, it's still obvious that a mature woman like Jane, regardless of her religion or innocence, would be able to understand adult humor.
Yeah, Joe.
Sean is really grasping at straws to provide any proof
He's like,
that she
oh, that
ever
means
desired
you
to
want
take
it.
things
That's what
further
that
with
means.
him.
So you want it. I'm gonna take it.
What a psycho.
Yeah, that's why there's jail. Okay, I'll say it again.
See, I'm wondering if he's hearing and seeing things too. That's
Doesn't
why.
matter. Guys like this, it doesn't matter if it's seeing. It does not matter. People like this are the reason jails exist. Period.
We're staying up until we pass out.
Because people want to be real liberal and say, let's have no jail, let's have no police. I'm not one of those people. I don't believe that's wise at all for society. This guy's perfect example of why you need jail.
Yeah.
Unless we're gonna deal like the Wild West and you get convicted of something, you just cap everybody that's convicted of a crime. Okay, it's either fines or execution. Okay, because there's no prisons,
Yeah.
right? This is a perfect example why prison exists. That guy
Yeah.
belongs away from women
Yeah.
because he's going to victimize them,
Yeah.
and he
He
happens.
can't help himself.
And he happens to be a good-looking guy, so
Yeah.
he can just. I mean, some women, I'm sure, were just running at him like, "Hey, what's up? You want to fuck me?" Absolutely, and they end up dead. He could have been like a 50 head count killer,
He could be.
but this shows why our modern, because this is modern day. I don't think a Dahmer can happen.
Anymore.
No, because people get caught too fast.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a great thing. Yeah, I do. I believe in that.
Yeah, I believe in the death penalty. I think it's necessary sometimes.
Yeah. Yep.
Her mind was clear.
Yeah.
We just got that plan down. She thought about she wanted to play putt golf. And I don't think she was talking about putt golf. The way she
He's
said
one
it,
of
she
them.
needed something like, so we just like,
Yeah.
Sean also talks about wanting to get
Just end his victim's suffering and the victim's family suffering and end this dude's suffering so he doesn't reoffend anyone. Like, he can't. I don't think people like him can be rehabilitated at all. At all.
No, because because he's a pretty effective fucking liar. You can tell, a manipulator.
I know. He doesn't notice. He's dumb. It's sad.
Crazy.
Jane pregnant.
we talked about abortion and stuff. And I was pretty sure, she said she would get an abortion.
No. It's definitely against that, right?
They would get afraid. She'd at least be able to have something to focus on instead of everybody else.
He's talking about his rape victim getting pregnant.
She doesn't because of the child. She'd resent. Probably. And she would know how to be a parent.
Right.
The apartment is full of Bible verses. I think, what is she hiding from? She's hiding from something.
At one point, the interrogator tries to give Jane some props for having the bravery and wits to escape, and Sean immediately interrupts to take responsibility for this accomplishment as well.
She had some courage there, didn't she?
I told her to. Told her, you better find a way out of here or I'm going to kill you.
Did you mean it?
No. I just was trying to boost her to go. I don't know what I was doing.
A prosecutor would later give his opinion on why Sean didn't kill Jane, saying, "Her lack of struggle made him stop. The evidence will show that Elizabeth screamed and died. Stacy maced him and died. Jane Doe accepted her fate, made no struggle, and was allowed to live. Moving on to
Oh.
September 15th, Major met Sean once again to talk. She asks if there's anything else that he's thought about and needs to get off his chest. Sean says he needs to think and get the year right.
It's been 2006.
Okay.
Or 5 or 4. I can't place the time. Maybe it was like 2005. Cold case. They've already found her.
Okay. Where did that happen?
Marion.
It's only about 4 minutes into this tape, and Sean has already admitted his involvement in an unsolved, decade-old cold case, with almost no prompting at all. The interrogator's ability to build trust with Sean has played a big part in opening the floodgates on a once tight-lipped suspect. Sean is never quite certain what this first victim's name was, but he believed it was Dana. This woman's skeletal remains were found in a wooded area of Marion County in 2007, which was probably about a year after she'd actually died. She'd remained an unidentified Jane Doe until Sean's confession. He later explained that he was hesitant to reveal this particular murder was because he knew expanding the time frame of his crimes by this big of a margin would make people wonder if there were tons of other victims during those gap years. In 2019, authorities would finally be able to use DNA from the victim's family members, along with facial reconstruction analysis and isotope testing to identify her. And it turns out that her name was indeed Dana Nicole Lowry, who was only 23 at the time of her death.
What a fuckface. God. He mixes sex with violence. That's why you really can't rehabilitate someone like him.
Probably not.
Because sex is so ingrained in your psyche. That's why it's very hard to rehabilitate sex offenders. Because it's just so ingrained in their psyche. Ugh. Oh, he is probably hiding more.
Remember Sean's story way back about his mother wishing ill will upon a magazine saleswoman? Here's where things come full circle.
Tell me what happened.
Well, it's kind of weird how it happened.
Yeah, I hate when they mix sex and violence in movies and in advertisements, too. I think it's insanely, and I do use that word, insanely irresponsible. Because that could influence copycats. Like, stop that shit. Don't promote it. Don't kink shame you. I will kink shame you if that's the case. It's dangerous and you're putting lives at risk. Period.
That night I felt like I had to do something.
Okay.
Get out of control. I didn't know what to do. This lady sold magazines are supposedly for college, but never really did come through.
Anybody that wants
Okay.
to
Order,
R word
but
is
she
mentally
collected money.
Right?
that's mental.
It's a fake orders. And my mom paid her, and she's just waiting on money and money, and so that's all she complains about.
That's horrible, Monkey Toes.
Okay.
I found her, and she tried to sell me magazines as
Fuck.
well. So as I knew it was her.
It's fascinating to discover that Sean referenced this woman earlier on, without betraying any emotion of what the true ending to her tale was. In 2006, Dana had been reported missing after she abruptly stopped making phone calls to her 2 young daughters back in Louisiana, while on the
Bless.
road selling her magazines. Her parents were already deceased at this time, and so the father of their girls says he doesn't know who reported her missing. He himself had just assumed she moved on with her life, as he says that's just the kind of person she was. Authorities had no leads until this very moment.
So I took her with me to my grandparents' house where I was living. I was remodeling my grandparents' house. Started arguing with her, like, dude, Con, you're just gonna take, you're gonna take my money. You're not.
Yep.
I said, no.
He did
I said,
Monkey
yeah,
Toes.
because you did my mom's too. And she pretty much can, like, give you over to God. She knew God's gonna take care of you. I know I'm not God.
Another Christian lady.
Being-
I know that.
It's interesting that Sean frames this murder as a sort of revenge against Dana for what he believed was a scam. However, earlier you'll recall that he admonished his mother for hoping that the saleswoman
This
would
dude
get
is a
what was
piece
coming
of
to her.
shit.
Sean says it was almost like it was meant to be when he found Dana again, just a few months after she had initially sold to his mom.
And how did you get her from there to your grandparents' house?
So I asked her what she was doing, and I wanted to take a break. Take a drive with me. Well, actually, to go get the money at the time.
Okay.
I asked her what she was doing before that, and she was ready to call it a day, so I just asked her if she wanted to hang out, go out to where I was staying and get money,
Okay.
which I lied. I mean, my attention, she's already irritated me.
Yeah.
Someone that I supposedly care about. Well, first we sat in the kitchen on the ground, the bar stools, and just sit there for a minute. And I felt her bullshit, and I was just feeling raged.
Okay.
So I said, hey, come on in back here. Show you my ball cards. She did. I have all kinds of ball cards. Used to.
Like baseball cards collection?
Yeah, all sports.
Oh, okay.
This dude is such a creepoid.
And there she comes. It's like, oh, neat. So that's when I fronted her. So you gonna rip me off like you did my mom?
What did she say?
She said, who's your mom? I said, oh, so you do it a lot to people. You know what I mean? She tried to get past me. And I just ganked her up. Walked her back a little bit to the living room. Because everything was, all my stuff was in the bedroom. I didn't have nothing in the other rooms. So I choked her out right here. I believe it. Her nose was bleeding. There was some blood. Could have been from her lip. Right here. She peed her pants.
How did she die?
That woman spooked
I
out.
strangled her. Oh, wait, no. I didn't. I strangled her first. And then I dragged her down to the basement after she passed out. Then I panicked. I ran upstairs. I grabbed the knife. I stabbed her in the neck.
She's in your bedroom and you are
She tried
face to face. She tries to get out of the bedroom. Tell us what happens from there.
I drag her out. I turn her around. She comes towards me. I knock her hands around, knock her whole body around, and just grabbed her like she just meant to be choked out.
Okay.
I mean, it felt right in my hand.
Okay.
I set her back, laid down, and I actually laid down with her. We was laying down. I'm just side by side.
And is that upstairs or downstairs? At what point did you
Upstairs.
stab her in the neck? Was she still alive then or not alive?
She woke up
She woke up from the strangulation?
downstairs. She
Downstairs.
woke up downstairs.
So when you took her downstairs, did you take her down thinking she was dead?
No, because I knew before that was just a little temporary, like a pass out.
Okay.
They're dealing with friends and playing around pass out games.
He's
So
like
you went
Hannibal
downstairs
Lecter in
and
a
then what
way.
happened?
I guess.
She woke up.
What a fucked up reasoning this dude has.
I ran upstairs and grabbed a knife in the kitchen. You know, that's the first thing I did when I went downstairs. Stabbed her in the neck. And
Well, good for you,
And you said
buddy.
the knife was a serrated knife or a straight blade knife?
I believe it was a straight knife. It was like a knife you cut onions with.
Okay. All right, the time is 5:12.
Biggest,
17, 12
weirdest
hours.
mentality I've
Date
ever
September
seen in
15,
my
Detective
entire
Major,
life.
Detective Evans, and Sean Great at the Ashland County Sheriff's Office.
Sean goes on to describe how he put Dana's body in his trunk, dumped it, and then burned the blankets she'd been wrapped in.
Was she ever clothes on?
No, they were soft. They were drenched.
He kind of has like a Billy Bob Thornton vibe, kinda, sorta.
However, before he took her body out of the house, Sean actually had company over.
He said, Dana taken to the basement in the afternoon. Then he had a bonfire at his house that evening/night, and she was still in the basement, so he put a couch in front of the door, so in case someone had to go like take a piss or something, they wouldn't go into the house and then stumble across her in the basement.
Major asks Sean to tell her details that nobody else would know, so she can confirm he was really the one who killed Dana.
I did go back after a few months. And I burned the fire. I caught it on fire. Just burned all evidence just in case if there was. I beat myself up all the time.
Yeah, sorry.
Now, having 4 murdered confessions in her lap, Major takes some time to look into Sean's headspace. It's not every day you get the chance to sit down with a serial killer, and it's clear she wants to learn as much about his psyche as she can.
I know you have a conscience, and I know the things that bother you.
Well, he has an
I can
interest
see
in
that.
psyche, I'll
I can
say
see
that.
I see that there.
Yeah, I think it's just all that other people's weirdness kind of just gathered. I try to justify things in weird ways. We have
Oh
done
my
weird things
God.
and justify and make it look, I don't know. I'm really warped. I think, though, damaged.
Sean even gives a bit of insight into why he confessed to Dana's case, even though he may not have otherwise been linked to it. He says it was the one eating him up inside.
Is there another one I don't know about?
No, there's 4.
Notice how Sean hesitated there.
I mean, I'm not in denial.
Yeah, you
I
are.
believe the denialness is out of my system.
Oh, the
As you can
denialist
probably guess at this
is out
point,
of his
he's still
system.
holding back the full truth. But at this point, Major doesn't have much else to go off. She briefly circles back to Elizabeth's case, and here's where things get incredibly disturbing. Apparently, when investigators searched the house to find Elizabeth and Stacy's bodies, they found something else, too. They discovered what was described as a pole covered in a sock and wrapped in condoms. Here, Major asked Sean if these were used on Elizabeth at all.
There might be something in there.
Okay.
I think it was mainly just to try to open her mouth a little bit.
Ew.
Pop her mouth to tie her up a little bit, just in case. I
Ew.
didn't do nothing with her.
Sean's explanation only gets more horrifying from there.
No.
Lodge her mouth a little bit to see. I was kind of curious. She was so stiff all of a sudden. She's stiff so fast. And I was just like,
Putting that in her mouth?
yeah, I was just trying to like open her mouth a little bit. To be able to have more access for flies than eat her. I don't want her even try to get rid of the body. Like the smell. So I was trying to just like lodge her open a little bit.
When officers opened the closet where Elizabeth was, they were indeed met with fly larvae and maggots on the door.
Ew.
2 days pass, and on September 17th, Major is back once again with Sean, this time accompanied by a male sergeant. At this point, Sean has now gained legal representation for the cases that occurred in Ashland, so the interrogator has to be careful not to ask questions pertaining to those matters, which is no big issue, as Major's real goal here is to snuff out any remaining victims that Sean is neglecting to reveal. She first emphasizes that she understands why he didn't tell her everything at once, and indicates it's okay if his information comes forward in layers.
The reason I have Sergeant Martin here is because he's been dealing with something for a long time that he's got a case file on, and there were just some parallels. And do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm not exactly sure.
Okay. Sean is good at, if he doesn't know something, he'll say, I don't know, and if he needs clarification, he asks for it. So really important for us to make sure that somebody's not suggestible, where if I say something, you just adopt it as true. So sometimes when we've talked, you'll say you don't know something because you don't know, or you'll correct me, or change what you'll fix it. There's a case from out in the county.
Another one.
That we found a girl. And we're trying to see if you'll be honest, if that's something you have something to do with. We're asking for that. A lot of time has been put into it, and we don't know.
Rebecca Lacey.
Yes, sir.
I had problems with her once. I met her. She got violent with me. I swear I've been.
Oh, she got violent with
angry,
you.
bitter about her.
It's interesting
Again,
how
taking
readily
the-
Sean
not taking
gives
the
himself
blame.
up here.
I don't know. I get
This is the
American
final
Psycho
victim he
vibes
will
from this
confess
guy.
to,
Me
although there's no
too.
way of knowing
American
if she is
Psycho all
really
the way.
the last one he was hiding. Unsurprisingly, Rebecca follows the trend of Sean's earlier victims.
Rebecca, Candace, are the same. Same type of people.
Because of the drug abuse.
Stabbed in a heartbeat.
Where did you meet Rebecca the first time?
Just throughout town.
Just throughout town, meaning Mansfield.
$20. So I met her.
Oh, as a prostitute? Okay.
So he kills a
She
prostitute.
just started calling me here and there.
Alone and
Sometimes
no
she
one's
just come
trying to
over.
find her.
Hang out.
Rebecca's family has given some insight into what her life was like before it was cut short. Rebecca had her first child at the age of 16 and never got to finish high school. She was spunky and a daddy's girl. Unfortunately, a boyfriend introduced the young woman to hard drugs at some point, including cocaine. According to her father, quote, Becky was a drug addict and she wasn't afraid to tell you. Becky was a prostitute too. Sean was a prostitute too. A family friend added, they worked the same corner. Her dad says she would call him from abandoned buildings and ask for food, sometimes requesting a little extra if Sean was with her. He says he tried to help Rebecca, but that she didn't really want any.
She tried to rob me.
Rebecca tried to rob you?
Yeah.
Okay. And tell me what happened. Can you bring a chair up so he's not having to talk so much?
She was number 2. Yeah, Rebecca was number 2.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this cuff off. Here we go. Is that better?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell us,
She seemed like a good person and everything. I know we've met several times
okay.
as a friend
Where did you meet her?
through the street.
Are
I
you,
encourage her still, Greg. It was just shortly after my best friend just passed away, too.
okay.
God, this guy is such a creepoid.
It's believed that Sean killed Rebecca sometime between January and early February of 2015.
It's pretty much self-defense on that one. 'Cause she
Oh, it's self-defense.
robbed me out of snap. Like, she just wanted to run out.
Okay. When you say she robbed you, where did that happen? Where did it happen?
I have an eclectic tempo. I had become partners with my best friend in the
This
store.
guy has all the excuses.
Came over. I went to the bathroom, right?
No, there are even excuses.
I had
It's
some
just
money.
like,
And my wallet.
this mindset's so bizarre.
And that's the first thing I did was just check my wallet. And it was gone. So I was in front of her. She wanted to leave. Snatched her up. We fought. I ended up choking her out. So she slept. Reached in her pocket, got my money.
Sources say Sean has revealed that the amount Rebecca allegedly stole from him was $4.
That's all?
Grabbed the phones and stuff, took the batteries out. She had 2
You
phones.
killed a woman for $4
I just want
She woke up. I didn't know what to do. I was just waiting for her to wake up.
He never knows what to do other than kill them.
She woke up. First thing she did was, she panicked. I tried to calm her down. Tried to get up and just leave. That state of mind, I was in. I let her just leave. I pieced her. Oh,
What the fuck?
gave her a knee. Put her to sleep again. Then I just didn't know what to do. I panicked. I just finished her off.
How did you finish her off?
Choked her.
Major asks for some clarification on these points that led up to Rebecca's death, and Sean seems excited to tell it, even adding sound effects to his story.
You said you did something and she must have passed out from it. And at first.
Yeah, she tried to call 911 to get her other phone. Right after we were wrestling and stuff, she just crawled in the ball. I don't know what she was doing. She found the phone. Hell, she was steal from me and all that, me. I just snapped. I was like, oh, and I grabbed her
What
hair.
the fuck?
Let's see.
Sean details his internal struggle here.
You have the struggle of, if I let her live, she's gonna say something and I'm gonna get 8 years. Or,
Yeah, I thought about doing 8 years.
or if I kill
or
her,
so.
then I could do life, but maybe nobody would know if I can get rid of her. Is that how your mind works?
Yeah.
So when she died, what exactly were you doing to her when she died? How did you do it this time?
He is enjoying this. And he's trying to make it seem like it's their fault.
Put his arm under her neck. And then I reached back to her, grabbed one of my legs. She just had electric.
Even the way that Sean
Ugh.
disposed of Rebecca's body is disturbing, and it's a wonder that nobody caught him in the act. Sean kept her body downstairs in the eclectic tempo business for a couple days before he got a car to transport her away.
There was an old plastic golf carrying bag. Barely finished in here. Take her just in case it propped open because of the daylight. The lawyer's office going on, the secretary's.
He put the woman in a golf bag.
And remember it was snow. Yeah. It was really hard.
I can't, man.
When he drove out a ways and found a secluded spot, Sean drug her body out by a tree and left. He says as he pulled away, a cop got behind him and he thought he'd be seen. However, this was unfortunately not the case.
Yeah, I give it a dress on it. I shouldn't. I don't know if I should get charged for it or not. So, I don't know. She kept pushing me. Like, I don't know who people want now.
She's pushing you, but
I don't want to come on with me.
31-year-old Rebecca Lacey's body was discovered in March of 2015, about a month after she'd been reported missing. Unlike some of Sean's other victims, Rebecca's family had searched extensively for her, employing the help of police to scour more than 60 abandoned houses in the area she frequents. But ultimately, it would be an unsuspecting worker who stumbled upon her remains while checking gas wells. But at that time, no one knew the killer on the loose. The county coroner ruled her death an overdose and reportedly said there was no evidence of traumatic injuries. And here's where things get even more surprising. Rebecca's father has stated that he does not believe Sean is guilty. He thinks her death is tied to her addiction, explaining that she stole drugs from a dealer, and he theorizes that she was killed in retaliation by the dealer injecting her with drugs. A family friend clarified that she'd already been telling people that she feared for her life. Speaking on Sean, Rebecca's father said, "I thought he was an okay guy," adding that Sean was always polite. This serial killer ain't the same Sean that I know, he insisted.
He fooled the
This
dad.
information was reported as of 2019, but I would be intrigued to know where the man stands on this issue today. And so, with 5 murders along with Jane Doe's abduction and assault, the interrogators had finally got everything out of Sean, or at least what he was willing to tell, which was more than enough.
There is no one else, though, honestly. I could take a lie detector test, even.
well, that's the first time you've offered to take a lie detector. But okay,
But this time I may have to, because there is no one else. Seriously.
how do you go from Dana to how many years later and not have any? Because same, do you know what I mean?
Regret. A lot of regret.
How long before Dana did you have, you said you had dark thoughts.
Probably about 10 years. I would have loved to have been able to do a lot, but I know I wouldn't be able to get away with it as well.
Why?
Oh, wow, that's why. It's because he
There's
couldn't get away with
relationship.
it.
There were no random. It wasn't random.
But while Sean didn't confess to any more murders, he would bring up someone he allegedly assaulted, or as he puts it, made an example out of.
Oh.
Except there was this one girl I made an example with. Trista. I can't remember her last name. I didn't kill her or nothing. I did rape her though, in a way. Abducted her. I let her go.
Where was that?
The Mansfield.
Ah, he did a test run.
Tell us about it.
Because of her personality. She was like, I let her go. You know what I mean? I let her go. That was after Rebecca. It was a stress thing after Rebecca. And I think that I was still pumped up with Rebecca. She just got lippy.
She got limpy with you?
Yeah, I just like, I'm just going to take it. I ain't going to pay you. He's like, no, you're not. You know what I mean?
So she's a prostitute?
Yeah.
So,
You can't give a crap. You know me arguing like, yeah, you can't. So, no, so I just went along with it. I did not hurt her at all. I didn't smack her or anything.
you didn't hurt her, you just...
Yeah, she just like, she
Wow.
just submitted. She didn't fight. And that's
What
the
a
reason why
psycho.
I just left. You know what I mean? I even walked her back to where I picked her up.
And didn't pay her.
Right.
Here we see yet another example of a woman escaping
Make an
Sean with her
example
life,
of it.
mainly because she submitted and did not struggle. This pattern tells us a lot about Sean's need for control and feeling powerful. It's ironic how he faults women
Remember when G-Man told me I needed to submit?
Yeah.
He has the same mindset. That's why I'm staying the fuck away from him.
for being what he deems as promiscuous by coming home with him late at night, but if they try to fight off his advances, somehow he still thinks they're at fault. Sean says as he walked Trista back, she asked, "Why me?" And he responded, "Maybe a wake-up call for both of us." We've covered all the early conversations Sean and Major had in September of 2016. By October, Sean was getting a bit more settled into his new situation, and now that the truth is out and he's just personally requesting to speak
Right,
with Major at this
Stacia?
point, these last few clips give us a peek into his thought process as he accepts his fate. First off, he reveals that he started receiving a lot of mail, but not the kind you might expect.
Any more letters from girls?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And guys, yeah, like just, I've gotten like 10 letters.
Like not people you know or anything, just random
There's
letters.
only one person I know.
My buddy.
That's really kind of confusing for you too. I mean, it's not. I think you said you were gonna keep track of hate mail, but then you find yourself with fan mail.
Fan
It's not
mail?
what you maybe anticipated.
Yeah.
Sean says one of the letters asked him who his favorite serial killer
Some
was.
women are so
He said
fucking
As he's
desperate.
watched some movies about
That's the
famous
next
killers,
thing
but was
Foodie
never
Beauty is
inspired
gonna
by
do
them,
is she's
but
gonna
rather
be
thought
like
those guys were
in
messed
love
up in
with
the
some
head.
guy in jail.
Ironic.
She's
He
one
does
of
say
them
if he had to
women, I
pick,
swear to
he found
God.
the Zodiac killer most interesting. Major asks if he's ever identified with one of the killers he saw on screen. After thinking for a while, Sean says this.
I recognize.
They give up their life for, like, I don't know, but really angry there, you know, and Ted Bundy. He just heartbroken. I mean, like, yeah, his heart
Yeah.
broke. And he just was out to just for revenge. I mean, to let out anger, you know.
Sean goes on to say that he probably relates with the Zodiac killer more because he was patient and had emotional control instead of just hunger, presumably for violence.
The people probably put their hands on me just because of what I've done, just to feel close. You know what I mean? Like, if they harm me, they can always say, I did this to Sean Gray. But when I killed 5 women,
Sean expresses that he hopes one day down the line he can ask the families of his victims to forgive him.
her son, you know what I mean? Honestly,
Who's son?
Stacy's son.
Okay.
It's her sister that said I'm an animal, you know what I mean? And that's good. That's good. To her, I am an animal. But she...
To her, I am an animal, but I'm not an animal to me, in my perspective, because my perspective matters.
Sometimes,
Fucking
before
weirdo.
it's all said and done, I need to be able to ask them to forgive me. Somehow. I would like to just give up my life, okay, right? Whatever consequence for him to give me the sentence. You know what I mean?
Sean also begins to go back and forth on feeling like jail is the right place for him.
Do you feel like if you were free today, that it would happen again?
But the way I was. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of times it could have been 100 people.
Amen,
And intense
Nelly.
fear that this is all that's left for him. He shows moments
Aww.
of authenticity, such as worrying about his son, but often switches back into a lighthearted tone without taking too long to recover.
I just want to kill the flakes.
What the fuck?
The frosted flakes. Or the Fruit
He went from
Loops.
that to that?
What? Say it again.
I want to kill the Fruit Loops. Serial killer. I want the Fruit Loops.
But in the final conversations between Sean and law enforcement, one thing we can see for sure is a resurgence of anger and violent thoughts geared towards the people around him.
Whatever.
You want to hurt who?
I don't know. They don't matter. They're playing games with me. Figure out once the shift change, he might come over because it's his Friday. And that's when they might come in and rush in on me later. So I'm covering the camera, whatever. I already have.
Hey, no one's going to rush in on you. Don't cover the camera. No one's going to do anything to you.
No, that's the thing. I want them to come in on me.
You want them to? Why?
Because I'm more focused on that one dude. There might be 5 of them to get me, but that one.
What a weirdo.
Meaning what? Meaning you want to hurt him or meaning you want to kill him?
American Psycho.
Whatever I can.
Very American Psycho.
Straight, whatever I can. Whatever, I don't know.
Here he talks about someone he thinks was a snitch.
I want to just step on his throat. I thought about it already. I was going to get him to look in the bathroom, like a bug was in there. And then grab him, knock him out. Keep him knocked out to step on his throat. I thought about putting his head right on the toilet and just stop on his throat. Just because he's a little bug.
And so, after a long series of interviews, Sean awaited judgment on his crimes. In court, family members and medical professionals would share intriguing testimony that gives us a look at the strange reality of Sean's convoluted upbringing. First of all, he had a very strained relationship with his mother. She apparently got married at only 14 years old to a 21-year-old man. Sean's half-sister alleges the relationship didn't last because Sean's mother was an alcoholic and was physically abused by her husband. Sean's
Aha!
mother then had an off-and-on marriage with Sean's father, who she met while working as a dancer at a bar. They eventually divorced. Sean's half-sister testified that their mother was young, partied a lot, and did not give the children a lot of attention, nor have a connection with them. In fact, his half-sister says she herself essentially took on the responsibilities of
He hated
being the
women
mother
and
of
he
the
took it
house
out on
from
them
ages 12 to 16.
because of his mother.
The family dynamic was unstable and dysfunctional.
Makes
And
sense.
Sean and his mother seemed engaged in an eternal battle over who was going to control who. Here are some of Sean's thoughts about his mother in his own words.
It may have started when my mom left me when I was a child. I come home from school when she's gone, but I don't blame her. I used to, but
Why did she leave?
she had to go find herself.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. There's a time I needed some help. I was in between jobs. She didn't have. She just flushed me. You know, this is a time that if you're gonna help me, you should help me because I'm just gonna forget you. I just did. I forgot her.
The forensic and clinical psychologist hired by the defense to evaluate Sean, Dr. Fabian, believed that he exhibited an attachment disorder and had an inability to connect properly with others. Sean's mother told him she herself never attached to anyone, and Dr. Fabian believes this certainly carried over to how she raised her son.
Yeah, whatever I get, she should get too.
Why? Well, yeah.
She's the one who encourages me and saying bad things.
You
should
can't
happen to
blame
people
your mom.
or condemn people. She's
Per
condemned
se.
one lady. I mean,
No.
she's a nut.
No, no, she didn't.
She's been a nut.
It didn't help that she
Well,
contributed to making him, but he
Dr.
still
Fabian
made
says Sean had a
reactions.
love-hate split towards his mother, sometimes desiring to be with her, but also a rejection and hatred towards her.
What's your most strong
That
pet peeve?
explains why he loves and kills the women.
Women when you're with them. Like what do they do that would anger you the most?
I don't know. I totally don't.
I ask that because when you hear some of the words you use about some of the women that you talked about, you used the word bossy. I don't know which somebody was being bossy to you. Maybe you can't. I don't remember who it was, but
It depends on probably just the moment. I could be thinking about my mom at the time, and then it's all bad.
okay. When's the last time you saw your mom?
Years ago. I just wanted her to invest in me once.
Okay. Knowing the circumstances, she doesn't even need 3. It'll be a lifetime of knowing just what you're feeling.
And then all talks about serial killing growing up as a kid, things you don't talk about. Yeah, I know.
You think that planted a seed?
Yeah, some type of bitterness, something like something. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet.
It was something that just the family seemed to talk about a lot. Just, and then, like, whose interest was it?
We'd always watch Unsolved Mysteries and all that growing up. I mean, I don't know. It's not that. Just gotta let everybody know what's going on.
You're right, Sean. You're right.
It's no excuse.
It's not an excuse. It is what it is.
Right. No one's saying it's an excuse. This can't be minimized, right? It's not that. It just explains
Yeah,
where you're coming
screwed
from.
from the
Wow,
beginning.
what a message to people.
Dr. Fabian's opinion is that Sean's rage toward his mother contributed to his criminal acts towards his later victims. He pointed out how Sean's need to control relates to never having control with his mother.
I really love my mom. Yeah, there's a love-hate. It's not hate. It's just a lot of forgiveness. It's just we've been through it. We've forgiven each other a lot. I mean, she betrayed me. I betrayed her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Different ways, small little
Right.
nitpicking ways. And it's just been like a boyfriend and girlfriend hate. Like, but it's a mom and son.
What?
It's the same thing. It's like too prideful in ways.
It's not in his genes that this is
But he's not a killer.
okay.
Like my mom would tell me that she did everything by her grandpa or her dad, just pass around. And like, that's why she left Kentucky.
Oh my God,
So
his
young.
mom was messed
Yeah.
up too.
But she was so worried that I was going to be some type of pervert. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
there's things that you really shouldn't tell a child. She tells me so much about how warped her side of the family is, and she's so afraid that I was going to be like that. Or an alcoholic.
Well, you kind of
Her
are.
genes.
Sean later told a psychologist that his mother was crazy, someone who wanted to find the guy that was going to be a meal ticket, and even proclaimed he was always afraid of the woman, and had early fantasies of wanting to kill her.
Being caught up in stuff just destroyed her with greed. She's almost mentally retarded, I think. Sad to say. But she's in denial. Killed them all before.
His description of his mother is eerily congruent with how he described killing Elizabeth. As Sean said, his mom lived a life of misery, and he wanted to take her out of that misery.
She came here. That says everything.
Yeah.
And for her to tell police officer, the detective that she spoke to, that he's my son and I love him, she said it. It wasn't, she didn't separate herself from you. She said, it's my son. So as a mom, I mean, and I don't want to build her up. I know what your childhood was like. You told me. I know the love hate. I know that.
We have to not talk about the past and just move from here on. So I asked her to forgive me, you know, for what I've done. You know, she raised me. I told her you did raise me better than this. And I'm not trying to blame her. There's some things in there, there's some hate, anger, that people are going to look at it and think that it's related. And it's really not.
Sean was held back in school twice, apparently suffering from learning disabilities and dyslexia. He was a very good baseball player, and his hobby may have brought him joy and purpose for a short period. But at 14, he retired forever after a large tumor was found in his arm, and part of his hip was removed to replace a portion of his arm bone.
Huh.
Sean was popular with girls as a teenager due to his charm and inviting smile. However, once he lured a young woman to let her guard down and get close to him, his true personality would come out. At 18, Sean was a
Well, just because you have a personality disorder does not mean you're a killer. Like, you could even have narcissistic personality disorder, and you still cannot, you still don't have to be a killer and have it. So, like, this dude's fucked up because he's a killer. It's a big difference. I would blame it on his mental illness, you know, per se. 'Cause people, can control themselves from that weird shit.
Arrested for grabbing a girlfriend by the throat. A few years go by and Sean, now dating a pregnant 17-year-old, breaks into her house and chokes her. And this was not the end of his reign of terror in this girl's life, because 8 months later, he once again broke in, decided to hide under her couch all night with a knife, and waited silently for her return. He then reportedly assaulted the woman and her sister, telling them that they better hope nobody knocks on the door, because if they did, there would not be anyone there to answer it. One 5-year girlfriend says that Sean was mentally abusive, and claims that in 2010, Sean assaulted her repeatedly, including multiple blows to the face and being grabbed by the throat. When she convinced Sean to let her go to the ER,
Did his personality disorder make him a killer? No. I don't think so. I think it has a lot to do with deep-seated feelings toward his mother, and it caused a very big hatred / love with women. He has a dysfunctional relationship with women because he has a dysfunctional relationship with his mother. And it really fucked him up in the head. But I wouldn't say it's his personality disorder. It's a combination of things, man. His side of the family were fucking nutty too. So, it's definitely genetic mixed with environment. That's what I see. Like, my mom abused me, and I didn't end up hurting people. I think he did it because he started enjoying hurting people. And he wants to get his way. He's a narcissist. It's a lot, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily his personality disorder.
she told staff she'd fallen, but when left alone with a nurse, she revealed what had really happened. Sean took off running. 4 days later, the girlfriend called police and told them she believed Sean was hiding inside of her couch. When officers came to inspect, they were shocked to discover she was right. He went on to have 3 children with 3 different women. He allegedly threatened his ex-wife, "If I can't see my daughter, no one will."
Yeah, I wouldn't
Ultimately, it
near
seems there were
you.
many factors that led to Sean's downward spiral. When it comes to nature versus nurture, it's apparent that a combination of both led to the perfect storm that created a serial killer. Sean has been diagnosed with a long-term mild depressive condition, a bipolar and related disorders, ADHD, a language-based learning disorder, a neurocognizance disorder, and a personality disorder, mixed and severe. He was found to read and function academically somewhere around 10 or 11 years of age, and Dr. Fabian has stated he has a full-scale IQ of 83, which is in the below average to borderline range of intelligence.
He's stupid as fuck. He's got Neanderthal mentality.
Pretty much.
Damn, you stupid ass.
That's rough.
Mental age of 10 years old, yeah. Do you think his actions will affect his children's future? Will they also have disorders? It's a good possibility he has disorders, but it depends on their environment. Because I have a firm belief that you can have the genetic for certain disorders and certain mental illness, but it necessarily doesn't need to happen. It's like there's certain triggers that will that you need within your environment for it to be like set off, per se. But probably the kids will be affected with mental illness, yes. Genetically speaking, and how fucked up this world is, probably, most likely. You agree, Melly? Yeah.
Fabian says that Sean's neurocognizance disorder may be due to a traumatic brain injury, as Sean had some early childhood concussions. The psychologist compared Sean's brain functioning to a three-wheeled car trying to drive on the road. As we wrap up the story of one of the most intriguing serial killers in history, I'd like to touch on a couple key elements that Sean brought up time and time again during his interrogations. He made many mentions of having dreams or visions that he thought were messages.
Whoa. The fuck happened there?
I had dreams about a lot of things that or see things.
I've had dreams of people. I meet people. Like, I had a dream of meeting David Cooley before I even met him.
I had a lot of dreams about things. They didn't come true. His names, first and last names.
He tells a specific story about seeing a woman that reminded him of Dana.
Do you know what's weird though?
What?
I was driving around about 6 months later. I mean, this was a spook story. I mean, I kind of got spooked. I pulled up. I went, "Hey, what are you doing?" It's like, oh, nothing. Looked just like her, right? But like more beat up, more darker. Like
Yeah.
she's a ghost. You know what I mean? And you need a ride or anything? She's like, no, I don't want to get myself in the same situation I got myself into before. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, oh, not, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was kind of scary.
He also had visions involving Candace.
I'd seen the vision of her. She wasn't completely clear, but I know, and it was like, I don't know, I talked to it in a way, like it would flicker. Like, is that you, like, talking to me, Candace, and like flicker once or something?
Yeah.
If it is, and it would flicker, and then like tell you all in my mind.
He makes many mentions of God.
A lot of these choice of women, when it comes down to it, they're free. They've had a hard life.
This is beyond weird.
Well, that's
But
pretty.
we all have. But that don't give me the right to do what I did. I didn't mean to play God. I know I'm not God. You know what I mean? I just wish someone could have did the same thing to me. You know what I mean?
So too.
Could ask God to forgive me.
Do that. Do
No,
that.
I can't. And then I have to ask all the family, which will be later on. Hopefully they'll find her, forgive me. That way they can go.
At one point, when he and Major had to go outside because of an alarm going off, he actually asks if she is a Christian, and then admonishes her for saying the phrase, "my word."
Shoot, I'm not saying nothing bad about you saying my word,
Yeah.
but is it?
What the fuck? Worst nightmare. People secretly living in the walls and furniture is terrifying, especially knowing this man was a serial killer. Oh my god. I know, right?
You never know.
No. Not anymore.
You never know.
People are crazy. Yeah, he is always targeting Christians. He's possessed by some kind of demon or something.
I'm thinking.
Some kind of incubus spirit.
isn't saying my word the same as saying goddamn?
I think it is, and it's a habit. Because I hear it, and then I try not to say that, and then that comes out, and I shouldn't say it at all. Well said, Sean Great.
It's the same thing.
No.
Like saying shoot, shit, saying, you know what I mean?
You're totally right.
I was really caught off guard by how seriously he took this simple statement in light of the things he's done, but the moment was very interesting to see play out. It was also intriguing how Sean indicated that he wanted the death penalty more than once.
I don't think I need to be represented. I just want to just go for the death penalty. And whatever, you know what I mean? Just plead guilty and be done. Move on.
Hey!
Good team. They're a good team.
I did kind of tell him I know. So I write that.
He wants to get the death penalty. Give him what he wants.
Yeah.
No waste of tax dollars. Think about that. Like, it's actually the right thing to do, in my opinion, with this dude.
Yep.
No, I didn't get my pots yet. That's true, Monkey Toes. Oh, God bless you, Melly. For me, my fear is closets.
Really? I didn't know that.
And finally,
Yeah.
perhaps the most prevailing sentiment that Sean expressed during his interviews was his disdain for government assistance.
I didn't kill these women. I might have just got away with their body, but their mind was already dead. And once they started accepting checks from the government killed them. The government took their strive away, all there. And just
Wow.
brain dead.
So you feel like, I'm going to paraphrase, so correct me if I say something wrong, okay? You feel like they're a burden to society. They're doing that thing.
They're handicapped, you know what I mean? Unless there's a reason.
Okay.
So it's to cop out and say, I can't deal with the customers. I mean, they're all regrets. I would rather let everybody just live in this world, and if they call it hell, then that's their own fault. If they want to call it, a taste of heaven, then that's good.
What other thoughts have you had of doing things similar to what we've talked about?
My whole life.
Do you have thoughts like these?
I never really thought it. I thought it was more learning and being aware of what's out there. Never thought I'd become one.
What do you mean?
I'm getting tired, baby boy.
Yeah, me too.
Craziness.
Sleep stream.
People that are
We have 2 minutes left of this.
Sean would later write
Oh,
in a letter, they were already dead. Just their bodies were flopping wherever it can flop. But their
Ugh.
minds were already dead. The state took their minds
we should
once
watch
they started
another one of
receiving their
these
monthly
things, but
checks.
just do a sleep stream.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, it's just something
I'll turn that off.
Oh,
about like once they start running their mouths and stuff. I mean, I kind of like
I'm getting swollen.
that's having a tax collector. You know what I mean? Someone has to take. Everybody has to pay their taxes. Prostitutes, pay their taxes. Definitely opportunists. That thing is true. Pretty dangerous. And I have to admit it. It's not good. All my life I have been this way.
We can speculate all day and night about why Sean did what he did. In the end, here's how he seems to square it in his head.
What was it? What was it you wanted? People be real with themselves, probably. I'll think about that question more, though. But that's the answer I believe. Just, I want people just to be able to be real with themselves.
Sean Great was ultimately convicted of murdering all 5 women in Ohio. He was sentenced to death.
Good.
In February of 2021, the Ohio Supreme Court unanimously upheld his conviction and death sentence, ruling that there were no errors in proceedings, denying him a fair trial.
Good. Yeah, he doesn't own up to it. Anyway, the hubby's asleep, the cats are asleep, and I'm falling asleep. My eyes are like getting really heavy. So I'm gonna go to sleep and I'll be back in the morning. You guys go to sleep. And I'll see ya. Love you guys.